Again, of the $2.1 million of permanent debt we have issued, 1.78 of it is related to the 3 building projects. But we're looking at that, and as a matter of fact, I asked the treasurer collector to get me a very precise response to your question. And we'll have that. Okay. So likely outcomes of the budget: broad reduction in services, increased reliance on fees, lower employee morale, continued slide of quality, reduced pride in community, and reduced property values. This is true again budgetarily in just about every city and town. The 4 major functions in cities and towns are school, public safety, police, dispatch, animal control, fire, another public safety function, and public works. And then these town-wide accounts, pay for things like hydrants and so forth, so they don't go to any one compartment for general services. You add those items up, they come to $17.8 million. That leaves just under $2 million for every other function. And each one of these core services, whether it be schools, police, fire, or public works, have seen a dramatic decrease in the last 5 years in what they have available to them. Police and fire have collectively lost about 8-9 folks. Schools have lost 18.7 total, and public works has also seen a decrease over time. So there's nothing. The real question is do you really want to further weaken these core services? That's the one. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of questions and maybe take a 2-minute break and let Kathleen set up and assemble. So I saw this lady here. You want a second? Yeah.
Is that taking into account, I know I read an article.
Regional dispatch?
Yeah.
The dispatch center that we have has got about a $400,000 budget, $450 or so. We are in the process of looking to regionalize that service. That regionalization would take place at the earliest would be fiscal year 11. That's what we're targeting. And we regionalize with Hingham, Cohasset, Norwell, and Hull. There are substantial state grants associated for going into that regional effort, both on a capital basis and an operating basis. We want to make these services weaker.
And you would ask about predicting the future. And I would think that one thing we need is when we're told about public projects coming in at X dollars, and therefore we're going to ask you for an override or a debt exclusion to pay for it because there's federal money on the table, which whenever I hear those words I say, Doc, shouldn't honest projection, I'm partly psychic because I immediately turn to the person next to me and say, this $50 million project is going to cost 60. The feds are going to pay the majority of the 50. You're going to get the 10. That's how the big dig happened. That's how the school building project in Hull happened. The overruns are yours. And I hear talk about this new beautiful library, and I love libraries, and it's, I think it said that he's $6 million or whatever, but there's federal money on the table. And I'm like, are we going to continue to step into traps because there's money on the table? And then the $6 million becomes $7.2 million, and we need a $1.2 million override because we have failed to see the future. And it seems to me that at some point the town fathers have to begin to see that whatever project you project never comes in on target. So people, you like it at 6? Do you like it at 7? Do you like it at 8? You have to plan for the future. I love Cadillacs. I drive Chevys. I lost my job. I couldn't pay for my Chevy. If I had bought a Cadillac Escalade, my car would be gone. If I bought more house than I could afford, my house would be gone. But I planned, like you said, could you live on what you made 10 years ago? I do. And I planned for that by driving older cars that are paid off, and I don't insure them for collision, and I live below my means. I think the taxpayer wants honest projections and wants to be careful of pursuing money out there, and then in the end, they take it to the neck because there's always overrides. Are we a small town trying to behave like a large town or a city? And do we have to realize what we are?